Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about music notes. So I've kind of been hinting in the last couple class periods that we'll be learning the actual names of the notes on the music staff. So first, I'm going to explain what the music staff is. This is a set of 5 lines and 4 spaces, and today we're going to be focusing on the treble clef, this little squiggly thing on the left side of those sets of lines. So this just means that this is home to all of the higher notes. Later we will be talking in class about the bass clef, which is home to the lower notes. So to get started, on the staff there are 5 lines and 4 spaces. Each line and each space is home to its own special note. We're going to start off with the notes in the spaces. There's a really easy way to remember it, and I'm sure as you're watching you can tell already what these letters spell, but we're going to walk through it first. So the first letter on the very bottom space is F. That is the first note. Jump up to the second note, and that is an A. Up on the third space is a C, and up on the very top space is an E. So these letters, I'm assuming you can already tell, they spell the word face. So F, A, C, and E. Those are the notes as you go up the spaces on the staff. Next, we're going to talk about the line notes. So, as you can see, there is no word that these letters make, but don't worry, I will show you an easy trick to remember the order of the letters. Right now, we're just going to go note by note so you know the name of the notes. So, on the bottom line, we have an E. On the second line is a G. On the third line, that is a B. On the fourth line, that's a D. And on the very top line, the very highest note, that is an F. So like I said, these letters do not actually spell out a word. So there's a little trick I use and I like to show my students. So the letter of each note is actually going to be the first letter in each of these words that I am about to say. So E, the very first note on the very first line. The E stands for every. Jump up to the second line, that note is G, and the G stands for good. Jump up to the third line, the B stands for boy. Jump up to the fourth line, that note is a D, and that stands for does. And jump up to the very top line, that note is F, and that stands for face. So, just to recap, it goes E, G, B, F. So every good boy does fine. That's a little way to remember it, but if you guys come to class in the next couple weeks, make sure to be thinking of some other words that could make sense to show you how the notes go up the staff in different ways you can remember it. They can be funny, they can be like real life experiences, anything like that. Just different ways for you to remember the names of the notes as you go up the staff. So just to kind of recap, we've covered the names of the notes on the treble clef. The treble is that squiggly little thing on the left end of this staff, and the staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces, and each space and each line is home to its own special note. The notes get higher in sound as you go up and lower in sound as you go back down. Just to recap on the names of those notes, the first space is F. The second space is A. The third space is C. And the top space is E. And that spells face. Remember that for class next week. Now to do the lines. The first line is E. The second line is G. The third line is B. The fourth line is D. And the fifth line is F. And that stands for every good boy does fine. So the beginning letter of each of those words, those are the names of the notes. So remember, like I said, if you can think of any other acronym that helps you remember the names of those notes, feel free to bring that to class next time. Thank you guys for listening.